everyone. I know that we all have a literary piece that cannot be forgotten, a literary piece that are worth remembering of. So, for me, when I was in my nursery years, the literary piece that I cannot forget is entitled Ang Piyera ni Juan May Prutas sa Gulong, because it is a song that um, we used to sing every morning, as it is as a form of energizer, and it is such an entertaining song. So what about yours? What are the literary pieces that you can share?
During my nursery year, I remember that we are taught about the nursery rhyme entitled Little Indians. It is a good nursery rhyme because it helps us to remember when counting from 1 to 10.
Oh, really?
Yes.
During my kinder, I also remember that our teacher taught us Two Little Apple. It is an action song that is usually we did every morning before we proceed to the discussion. Do you want to hear that lyrics?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Maybe
because
next
it is
time.
a time consuming.
Okay, maybe it's time.
So, how about in grade 1, your first year in elementary?
In my grade 1 years, I remember this poem entitled The Fat Cat. I was able to remember that poem because the picture of that fat cat is still in my head, and I cannot forget how adorable the picture is.
Wow.
How about yours?
That's so
Um,
wonderful.
Yes. I remember the story about the Tooth Kingdom, because our teacher used to tell that story. It is about a kingdom, but it is a kingdom that is inside our mouth or our teeth. Yes, that.
That's interesting.
Yes,
Story.
because the characters are our teeth.
Oh.
Yes, that's why I cannot forget that story.
How
And
about
your-
you?
And during my grade 1, my experience is our teacher taught us a Christian song which titled If I Were a Butterfly. This literary piece was never forget in my
In your mind?
yes, because it is, as what I told you, it is a Christian song
Yes.
that really, because it is usually what we did during or every morning, and it is continuously taught in our church. That is why it is never unforgettable.
Yes, yes, I agree.
You know what? During my grade 2, our teacher taught us the Truthless Princess. I still remember this story because she just always tell lies. Which it gives us moral lesson to do not tell the lies. As we all know that honesty is the best policy.
Yes, yes, that's
right?
true. Yes.
Do you have the same story?
No.
No.
It was different for me. During my grade 2, I remember the story about ang alamat ni Maria Makiling.
Yes,
Ay,
yes,
familiar.
it's familiar.
Yeah, diba it was about a goddess who protected the forest and protected the animals and the plants whenever there is a human who harmed the forest.
But yes, it is familiar to us, that story. But for me, I remember the story about Laughing Water. It is about the boy who is named Laughing Water, but after he didn't follow the
Rules?
no, what do you call that? He didn't follow his mother. He was named hard-headed. Yes. So what next is during grade 3. Yes.
In my grade 3, there was this poem entitled All Things Bright and Beautiful.
Yes, that is very famous. Yes.
I remember that we are tasked to memorize that poem and recite it in front. And I guess I did well during that time.
Wow, very good. Oh,
Okay.
we have the same situation also. Our teacher also allow us to recite that poem, and it is really, really a great poem.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, I already heard that poem, but the story that I remember is it's about the story of Anting Anting, because in our locality there, it is that story is really famous because there are made they believe in Anting Antings. Yes, that's why it is really unforgettable.
It is more our powers.
Yes,
yeah?
yes, because
Okay.
it is they believe in our locality, they believe in that.
Yes.
Yes. So
Sounds interesting.
you must go there.
So far
Maybe,
away.
maybe next time. So
Maybe next time.
okay.
I have money.
So,
So
How about in
Grade
your
4.
Grade 4.
during my grade 4 years, I experienced that our teacher taught us the story about Pinocchio. Do you remember?
Yes,
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 we're
that is a
familiar.
famous. Yeah.
Okay.
There is a movie about that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
it's a nice movie.
Maybe next time. I have to watch that movie.
Yeah.
So I still remember that movie, story, because it is a boy that when you tell that lies, your
Nose
nose
Will be
Longer.
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 Grows
Okay.
longer.
Yes.
So that's why it is memorable for me, because as what I told you earlier, that honesty is the best policy, which gives us moral lesson. How about you, Dinah?
When I was in grade 4, it is about a story about Ang Diwata. Yes, because it is unforgettable for me because I really love to read pieces that has yes, gods and goddesses, because I don't know, it just makes me
Amazing.
yes,
Yes, it's
I
very
read-
interesting.
yes, that story about gods and goddesses like Poseidon, Venus,
Zeus.
yes,
Like that.
I really love that literature.
As for me, in my grade 4, I remember the story about the greedy dog. It was about a dog who doesn't share his food to his friends,
Yes.
and then he ended up losing his food because he's too greedy. So the moral lesson of that story is that you should always share, if you can, the things that you have.
That's a great story.
Yeah. So when I was in my grade 5, I remember the story about, it is famous, ang pagong at ang matching. Yes.
I think I heard about that.
Yes, it is a famous story. That's why I cannot forget that story. It's about the turtle and the
Monkey.
monkey. Yes.
Also, during my 5th year, I also remember a short poem entitled All of Me. This poem is all about, or talks about yourself. Yourself. And also I also remember that our teacher tasked to recite that poem in front of our classmates.
Okay.
And it
Did
was
you
still-
did it?
Yes, of course.
Wow, congrats.
Congratulations.
Before.
Before.
But
How
it's
about
a
you?
good practice.
Yes.
How about you?
As for me, are you familiar with the Bible story David and Goliath?
Yes,
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
familiar
great
with that.
it's a great story about the little David, and it told us that we should never underestimate someone with his or her appearance. Diba?
Yes.
Very.
How about your 6th years in elementary?
I remember a story about it is entitled How Tiger Got His Stripes. It is about Tiger underestimating the intelligence of man, and then because of that he ended up what we call this trapped by the human, and he is like how is that?
She is caught
On
by the humans.
and the
elementary, it is really a memorable because during that time, it is I remember the graduation song which titled "Glowing Inside."
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a
Do you
tribute song.
Yes, it is a song that is dedicated to our parents and teachers, in which we give some cards and gifts to them. That is why it is really unforgettable experience during my grade 6. How about yours?
As for me, the literary piece that I cannot forget was forgot I mean, it's about graduation piece because our teacher asked me to research some graduation speech so that we can rely or we can you call that so that we can have some information to rely on because later on we have to make our own speech.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a good idea.
So that are our literary pieces from nursery to grade 6. How about yours?
I'm going to share the literature that I encountered during my elementary days. In Kinder 1, we have this nursery rhyme called Old MacDonald Had a Farm. It includes animal sounds and a catchy rhyme. In Kinder 2 is Five Little Ducks. Children enjoyed its traditional rhyme. In grade 1, we also have this Lion in a Lamp, a book about feeling wearied away through animal characters. In grade 2 is Ugly Duckling. It deals about self-confidence. In grade 3, Monkey and the Turtle. Grade 4 is Wonderful Wizard of Oz. In grade 5 is Pinocchio, the Magical Story. And in grade 6 is The Merry Adventure of Robin Hood. A legendary heroic outlaw, a highly skilled archer and swordman, helped the people by stealing their taxes and give it back to them.